Colonel Steve here at my place, the ABV Barrel Shop, suburban St. Louis. Come by and see me. You can sit at the bar, taste through some stuff. Let's talk whiskey, that type of thing. It would be a really fun time. Today, we're going to have a fun time as well. We're going to go behind the scenes of Neeley Family Distillery, a documentary that I have out on Amazon Prime that you can watch. And that's been different than all of our other movies. That one took years to make. So you're going to see the filming in there probably took place over like 5 years or something like that. I'm going to be talking primarily today about 2 days that we did filming in Neeley family's kind of their heritage, where Royce's great-great-grandfather lived and where he comes from in eastern Kentucky. And we did some filming there, and it was incredible. It was wild. The stories that we got to experience and enjoy, I'm going to be talking about today. Things that you don't necessarily see on the film. You see the final production of things. You see the characters I'm going to talk about, but you don't know how things work. So that project was really interesting. So Royce wanted to do this. He wanted to preserve his family history, and I'll tell you, the timing was perfect. We're lucky we filmed that stuff when we did. We kind of dropped what we were doing, and he was really pushing us to document these things because he said, some older members of his family are having health issues, and he worries about if they pass away without telling the stories, the things that they know, that family lore kind of gets lost forever. So he wanted to do this. So Bo Cumberland and I, the filmmaker Bo Cumberland and myself, we took some time and we did this. We were shuttled around by Roy Neeley, Royce's father, and Royce. So we sat in the car and we went to the locations of his parents' heritage and things like that. So the first day that I want to talk about, we picked up Cousin Herbie. So Cousin Herbie, real character. He's one of the people that's in the film that we've lost since we filmed that. So but when we got there, we went to his house. He lived in like an apartment, I guess, and he's like, I'm sick. I can't do this. He's always talking about apparently how he's going to die and stuff like that. And he doesn't actually die from any of the maladies that he talked about. Unfortunately, he died in a car accident. But, so he's talking about, he's sick and he can't do the stuff. We were going to go spend a day, kind of look at some of the locations where they would sell whiskey, look at the locations where they made whiskey and stuff like that. And Herbie was going to show us around and tell some stories and things like that. And we go into this small town. And small town America, particularly isolated eastern Kentucky, outsiders coming in. And Roy Neeley's an outsider. Even though he grew up there, he moved away from there, after high school. So, and he's older than me. So, you can say he's got roots there. And probably if you talk to people, some people, he might know some people that have, family there and stuff like that. But the way the town, the folk there would look at him as an outsider as he's going around. So we've got Cousin Herbie, and we're driving around going to the cemetery and stuff like that. And Herbie's talking about he can't do this. And Royce pops open a bourbon, lets him have a few drinks. And as he has a couple of drinks, he loosens up and he's fine. Herbie's fine then. He's showing us around the cemeteries where the family members are buried and stuff like that. And, he's doing okay. And Royce is like, we'd really like to get you, playing the spoons. He's like, at first he was like, he couldn't do it anymore. He doesn't play the spoons. He hasn't done it in years. And, after he starts drinking, he's like, we could do that. I know a guy. So he knows a guy that plays guitar, and he could probably do something with him. And then there's another guy, but we got to go there. So we stop and get some water on there, and some dude comes walking up and says, what are you guys doing here? And we're like, we're just hanging out with, Cousin Herbie. And he's like, Herbie. Oh, you're fine. You guys stick around. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, are we welcome here? Probably not if we didn't have, Cousin Herbie with us. So, but we end up going to this house, and they're like, don't ask any questions about, what business they're in and stuff like that, about the house next door. Don't bother them. I don't even know what they're doing. I have no idea. But we go into this one guy's house, and we interview like the local historian. The guy's name is Lowell. Unfortunately, he's passed away as well. And it was like a friend of his that had where they would play some music. So Lowell played the banjo, the other guy played the guitar, Herbie played the spoons. Next thing you know, they're doing this concert for us, and we're filming this thing. And Herbie's, all of a sudden he can play the spoons again. He's playing the spoons. And then during the middle of the song, like the interlude, they're singing and stuff like that. But then there's an interlude where it's just music playing. And Herbie gets up and he's dancing a jig, And it's like, this guy was going to die. He couldn't even move a couple hours ago, but he takes a couple shots of bourbon. He's fine. So Herbie ultimately was fine. We had a great day, took him around, took him out for a meal, and dropped him back off at his apartment. So, just an incredibly fun day, seeing that and interacting with the locals. Ran into a guy by chance that Herbie knew that he had bought alcohol from Royce's grandfather, and we interviewed him for the movie and stuff like that, just on the street, just a guy that we ran into. So that was wild. And then the second day, we were going to go look at all the family properties and stuff like that. So what we wanted to take there was another uncle, Uncle Ed. So Uncle Ed, he actually owned a pawn shop there, which when you're in a very small town, pawn shop is a big deal because a lot of people, they're living paycheck to paycheck, or there's times when they're unemployed and they have to hawk things, and then, they make payments and, they get their things back. And in this type of small town, that stuff happens a lot. You want to have someone who's from the town there because, you might not be able to make payments and stuff like that. So he owned that for his entire career. And, he did very well with it. Uncle Ed's got a beautiful house, like at the top of the hill, overlooking the entire town. And, swimming pool and nice garage collection of old cars and stuff like that. And he drove us around. He scared the hell out of me. He drove showed us how, the moonshiners would make a run and elude police and stuff like that. And he's got nitro burst and stuff. And, man, that was some crazy driving, so we got to do that. And Uncle Ed, by the way, hated me at first, and Bo, because he doesn't know us. He was like, who are these guys? He wouldn't talk to us, just answer yes or no questions. Then once we loosened him up a little bit, like, we're just normal people. We're not like journalists that are coming in and trying to paint the town as being this shitty drug-fueled town or anything like that. We're trying to tell the story of Neeley. Then he warmed up to us, and then he was awesome. Then he was showing us everything, his car collection, talking about that, and he was an awesome dude. So Uncle Ed was great. But we go through and we look at some relatives' house and stuff like that. We get on, you're going back in the hollers, and the hollers are on these, one-lane roads that is like gravel or dirt, and we're going and looking at houses. We're just filming, just for that. And we get to his grandfather's house, and we get done. And we go a little bit past there because we wanted to look at the area, just get an idea about where he was making whiskey and stuff like that. And we get a little bit down the road, and there's like an open field, and there's two guys there, and they've got like farming tools. They're doing whatever, and wheelbarrows and all kinds of stuff. And as we pull up, they both approach where we're going to have to go, and they're wearing vests, and they put their hands in their pockets, and they just stand there like this, with their hands inside their vest pockets. And Roy's Neeley is like, uh-oh. And Ed says, they're green thumbs. I'll talk to them. Green thumbs being they grow marijuana, and which is illegal in Kentucky. And so he gets out of the car, goes and talks to these guys. And Uncle Ed, he's not packing heat or anything like that. He's in a pair of shorts and a tank top. He gets out there, and he's a big dude, by the way. Uncle Ed, he has hands like a ham, like hams. I mean, literally. Again, he had some problems through the years at the shop, and believe me, you take care of business a couple times, and people don't mess with you anymore. Nobody messes with Uncle Ed. He knows everybody because he's got that pawn shop. So he goes out and talks to these guys. He comes back in the truck and says, "Okay, we're fine. Let's go though. We gotta leave." So, which is fine, great by us. We thought, we don't know what's going to happen here. So we get back, and everybody gets back in the car. We turn around and just head out of there and act like we never saw anything. So pretty wild stuff. So that was, I'm filming bourbon documentaries. I never think that my life is going to be on the line, but that was a rare instance where it was like, this is a little dicey here. I don't know what's going to happen. So that's just a couple stories from the filming of the Neeley Family Distillery documentary, which was a great time. I always say the best time that I have is making movies. Making movies is fun. You get to preserve history and interact with people, and I just love doing it. And hopefully if you've watched some of my films, you'll like them too.